how many drawings does it take to make an animated cartoon?
Why, we make from 12 to 14,000 drawings for every picture.
That's a lot of work. That'll make an interesting story for my paper. Mr. Fleischer, can you let me see how Betty Boop does her stuff?
Yes, I'll have her ready for you in just a moment.
Okay.
And I'll have her go through some of the stuff for you.
Fine, thanks.
Oh, Betty, this gentleman from the press, you know. He would like to see you act. What would you like to do for him?
Oh, Uncle Mac, I'd like to do the part I played and stuff in the show. And the hula hula dance I did in Bamboo Isle.
All right. I'll get the sets ready for you. Now, let's see. Here's one from The Old Man of the Mountain. You remember that?
Sure I do.
And, here's another one. Remember Stopping the Show? Well, there's another set.
Oh, I like that one.
And now, let's see. And, oh, yes, here's your Bamboo Isle. Remember that one, don't you?
Goody. Come on, Uncle Max. Give me a lift. Oh, thank you. Eyes of blue, but I never cared for eyes of blue, but he's got eyes of blue, and that's my weakness now. Oh, me. Oh, I. Hey, I should be good, and I would be good for me. He likes to poop-poop-be-doo, but I never cared to poop-poop-be-doo, but he likes to poop-poop-be-doo, and that's my weakness now.
Hello, Betty. Maybe you could giving out a little imitation from me, no?
Okay, Fanny. Look at me, oh, I'm an Indian, aha, I'm an Indian. Down in the feet is the moccasin for the shoes. Up in the back is a little papoose. Up in the head is a feather from a goose. It's a goose, it's a goose, but I'm an Indian. Oi, 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 I'm an Indian. Oh.
Can you imitate me, Betty Boop?
Yes.
I think so.
Then do it. And do it right now.
Right now, Chevy.
You got to hold-dee-ho.
You gotta hold-dee-ho.
You got to hide-dee-hide.
You gotta hide-dee-hide.
You got to heat-dee-heat to get along with me.
Yeah, man.
You got to learn my song.
I got to learn your song.
If you do me wrong,
I'm gonna do you wrong.
you got to kick the gong to get along with me.
What you gonna do now?
Gonna do the best I can. You got to hide-dee-hide.
You got to hide-dee-hide.
You got to heat-dee-heat-dee-heat.
You got to heat-dee-heat-dee-heat.
You got to head-dee-head-dee-hey to get along with hey. Hey, ho! Uh-oh. Daddy's in trouble again. I have to take a hand in this thing. Come on. Jump. Jump quick.
Oh. Well, Mr. Reporter, did you get everything? Huh?
Yes, I got everything.
Well, so long, everybody.
And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, I think that's fine. And a red fish, blue fish. Let's go see how the sound is over on the YouTube ski. YouTube. My channel. My channel. There's my channel. Do your channel. I am live. My channel. There's my channel. Do your channel. I am live. And I am making noise. Okay, excellent. I think I'm still a little low on my camera. We'll do that. Fallen Learns, welcome in. And CS Bond 2. Shout out Charles here. We're going to work a little bit on the vault outfit we started on Thursday. I think I'm going to work on this until about 2, and then I'm going to switch over to trying to do some promos for the Go-Go Dancer, and then maybe 3 I'll stop on that and try to maybe work on shoes. We'll see how this goes. All right, so we started this. I wasted too much time doing remapping, and I decided I wasn't even going to use it. So, but anyhow, here's where we are with this so far. I think I got to tweak the collar a little bit. We're going to, basically, at this point, I think we're just adding height and normal map details. We'll take a quick look. So here we have this. So this kind of shows the details that we're going to work in. The seams that go through here, this comes up under the arms. There's a seam that I'm going to put in that's going to run through there. It's kind of like piping almost. So we're going to kind of do it like that. I got to tweak the collar a little bit because I'm not quite happy with how that's looking. We're ignoring that. I might just plop these on, and that I'm going to ignore. I have no idea what's on the collar here. Chris, did you forget to add Streamlabs as a moderator again? Because the shout out did. You know what? It's Streamlabs probably turned itself off. So let me go fix that. Streamlabs.com. Log in with my Twitch. Dashboard Streamlabs. Let's go over to the CloudBot here. And this is all on Stream 2. Activate CloudBot. It says it's working. Let's knock it loose and see if this works. I turn CloudBot off. Turn CloudBot on. Let's see if that worked. I'm getting the sound alert, but I'm not getting the message, right? I'm still not getting the message. All right, let's check and make sure it's still moderated. So where am I? I'm over here somewhere. Yeah, I'm not seeing it in the moderator list. Damn you, Streamlabs. That's annoying. Let's try... Let's go back to here. Let me try this. /mod Streamlabs. Streamlabs is already a moderator on this channel. And yet it's not here. You're not in my mod list. Why? I'm going to check my mod view. Hold on. Thanks for pointing that out, by the way, Charles. Don't I have the list of, there it is, active mods. Stream Elements. Streamlabs. Why is Streamlabs an inactive mod? You know what? Streamlabs may be having issues. Let me go knock it loose one more time, and then I'm just not going to worry about it. We'll manually shout people out or something. And I got 3 viewers. Hello, 3 viewers. Let's see. Where did I just had this up. Oh, you're off again. What the hell? I totally had that activated, and then for some reason it turned itself off. I'm just going to refresh and make sure it's still on. All right, it says CloudBot's still on. Let's try this one more time. Oh, there we go. All right, CloudBot has been reactivated. So back to this thing. We're going to put a seam through here. I'm going to run a seam through. Does that actually... I can't see this other side. I need a better picture. Seam through here. I might put a brown patch on the ends of the arms, but might not. I'll maybe make that an option to turn on and off. I have no idea what this is. I think we'll put the numbers on the back. I did track down the font. Of course, I've forgotten it. Also, I'm not willing to pay $15 or $20 to get a font just for some numbers. We might be able to get those another way. Here, let me check the references again. This is a good one for the back. She's got some sort of weird gizmo on the back. She's got like the old Ditto Jeans seam back there, if you remember those. So we're going to have a seam that's going to come up the back of the leg, whip around, and come back down. Then I need a couple. I'm going to put a couple through here and here. I'll put in one in the middle. We'll run, that's just kind of the same as the back. I think those are most of the details that we need. And then we'll try to figure out how to get some numbers on here. And I've already wasted 20 minutes. So let's pop over to Substance and start sketching stuff in. All right, I'm going to start off with the one that's going to come under the arm and then back up the other side. Belt over. Also very important to help name things. I think I'm going to put in a fill layer that's going to lessen the existing height maps for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a height map. And then we're just going to come over here to height map. I'm just going to set that to normal. So that basically is overriding all the height maps under. But what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of do. Not all the way, but maybe something like somewhere in here. And then we're just going to multiply the height map. So it kind of subdues the height maps underneath it a bit. Or do I want to just screen that? Maybe I wanted to screen that. Multiplying is looking weird. I'm pretty sure I wanted to screen that. Okay. I think that does the trick. I probably wanted actually to multiply it. Let me try this and then multiply that. I think that's going to do what I want. And I might just take that and put it on top. If I put this back, it's really subtle. All right, now I'm just gonna, yeah, I think belt over is gonna end up here, honestly. And then I'm just gonna run in, we'll start doing these other seams now. So we're gonna do that with a paint layer. Yo, Art, how are you doing today? And all we're gonna do with this is paint the height map, and I'm gonna do that with the pen tool. And I'm going to tweak this brush to be a hard alpha. Doing well. Hello, Charles. Actually, I can just, yeah, let's do, so I'm going to put this seam through here. I'm going to adjust this, don't worry. And then so we're going to just, I think I'm going to swap this alpha out for another one. I'm just looking for a hard circle. Like that, button snap, there we go. And basically I just want this to paint just the height map. Actually, I'm going to use color for right now just to kind of show me what I'm doing. I'm going to take our height map and we're going to just run that up all the way like that. And then we're going to change the size of this to be, where's the size? There it is. So that's basically just going to act as kind of the little piping. And then when I turn the color off, and if we click out, it's going to look kind of like that. And I'm going to set this to basically normal so that it doesn't blend with what's underneath it. And then I'm going to tweak. Yeah. And what are you? Belt over is set to normal. So if I put belt over here, that kind of works. I think that's good. All right, so we're going to just line in a bunch of seams like that. And then I'm just going to run this under the arm. Like so. Why are you being funny? We don't want funny. And I don't know, somewhere in there. Why are you got weird curves to you? I think that's going to be okay. All right, there are a couple. Let's take a look at this again. That's not too bad. There's a seam right in here. So I think we could probably just drop that from here to under the belt. In this case, I'm probably going to have to move the belt even further up again. I think. Where's the rest of the belt? Belt under. There we go. So if we put belt under there, I come back to here. I'm going to run a seam from like here to here. And then I'm going to run another one from maybe here to here. And then I think we'll just run, and I want to, actually, this will be a separate, this one here, I actually want it to kind of go in and maybe be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to do that one last. Same thing with that one. That one's actually going to be a crease in. This one's going to be a crease out. So we'll put the, we're going to seam like right up the back of the leg, around and back down here. Unfortunately, my UV is not symmetrical. So I'm going to have to just do both sides. It's just the disadvantage of the way I do stuff with Marvelous Designer. There we go. This is going to be, I'm going to call that piping, so I can identify it later. And then, yeah, I'm good. So just to take you from here, up the back of the leg, past the bootay, maybe in there, maybe in here, maybe here, and then bring that back down. And I got to smooth that out. You know what? I'm going to line those up better. So let's put you right about there. Let's put you right in there. Let's tweak these so I'm getting a better curve in there. Maybe like that. You're a little off center. Put you like that. Take a look. I think that's going to be fine. Okay, I think I need some in the front. Let's see if we got a better picture of the front here. Okay, so I don't have seams here. I thought I saw a seam. I do need a seam around here. Are there seams on the fronts of the legs? I can't tell. I think there might be. Let's take a look at... Yeah, there is. So we're going to run one right down the front on both sides. That looks like it comes and curves around in here. Why would it do that? Did I not do these? Am I not seeing those? I am seeing. I do need to clean some stuff up. All right, so we're going to run a seam down the front. So back to the piping. Going to start here, just bring that down like that. Do you know, I probably should put a point in there and right there. And then we'll just run one down the other side. I think I had a point in like there and then at the bottom. So I think that'll be good. You know, maybe I should outline this. I think that will look nice. And maybe run outlines on these as well. And then I need to put one that's going to run up over in here. I think I'm going to just run it like that. It's got a weird loop in there. I think I'm going to skip that. I think I'm just going to take it and run it up over the shoulder on both sides. Maybe from here up and then over. Anywho, I'm going to outline this back into piping. I have to, if I get too close, I'm selecting this line, so I have to start it there. Thank you very much, Substance. That is not as helpful as you might imagine. And then I can bring that all the way. I probably need to put a point in here and then add a point right about there. And I'm going to add a point there so I can adjust that. I need to probably add a point in here somewhere. Right about there. And then we can drag this point back up to here. Let's take a look at how that looks. That'll be fine. This one still needs a little bit of loving. Maybe right there. I need to tweak those a lot, don't I? Oh, it's just so hard to see what I'm doing with these stupid lines. Go back into the piping, selecting that. You did. I must have undid you or something. Bring you up there. Adjust you a little bit like that. It's just so hard to see what I'm doing with this blue line in the way. I guess you have to be able to see that. But still. So I'm just trying to get this piping just on the outside edge of that dark blue ribbing. Because the piping, I just want to be on the mid blue. That is way off. And that's probably good there. All right, let me do the piping on these edges. Oh, I am getting a little, yeah, I'm going to pipe them all. Dang it. This is just going to get a little tedious, that's all. Also, I'm getting a little weird bleed in there. I have to try to figure out how to trim this so that we don't get that. So here, we'll just run this right through there. So I just have to do this 8 times. Down each one of these zones. I don't know what you call these. It looks a little funny. I hope it comes out better when we save it at 4K. Okay, let's escape. You did not go all the way. Damn you. You a bad boy. There we go. Then we can, whoops, now I'm inside something. Damn it. I went inside a boot. I got lost in a boot. Oh, there. It's right in front of me. All right, let's start this here, here, and I think I'm maybe just pull you a little over. Probably good. I'm in a little too far. Can't quite see what I'm doing. I think that's going to be fine. All right, let's get the other leg. Got to make sure I don't accidentally click some other line when I start this. So start there, bring you down like so. I think that's good. Let me bring this back up. And we're also going to turn this into We use a height to normal filter, so this also gets baked into the normal maps. Okay, I think those are going to be good. Let's do the sleeves. Those need some cleanup at the top as well. But I will do the piping for the sleeves starting right there and then bring this just down, kind of following that little ridge, little seam point right there. See if we can get you. Yeah, it works. You just take this back up the other way. I may be drifting off a little too far on that. All right, 2 more to go on the other side. I'm going to put some inward indentations on the back side. Good. I think I'm going to put that on a separate paint layer and call it creases just to help me keep things a little straight. Labeling things well saves you time in the long run. There's a guy who's a long history of not labeling things. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, I gotta put the. I want to run one here, and then I'm gonna bring that up to. I want to do that. Let's take a look at the back again. Oh, you totally don't line up with those. I'm gonna have one. So that. She's got one, but not the other. I wonder if this is some sort of freaky AI. This should probably be up here. And then I'm going to run a seam from here to there. So here, let's come back into here. And we're going to adjust these. Kind of line up. Hold on a second. All right, we're coming back. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm happier with that. And I'm going to run a seam from here to maybe over here. And I'm going to escape. And I'm going to run a seam. I'm too close, so it's whining about it. From there to there. Now I can move that up over here. And same thing. Same thing with this, because I wanted the start point to be right there. And then we're going to adjust this one over here to be higher up. And then I want to add another seam. I've got too many lines in there. From here to maybe here. And escape. And I've got too many lines in the way, so I can't start right there. I'll start you right there. And bring you down to right in here. Yeah, they're totally not even, are they? All right, drag you into there. And we're going to put you down into here. I'm just going to double check how that kind of lines up with the other side. Maybe a little higher. I think that's all the piping detail we want to do. And you know what? I'm going to put the crease that's going to come through the crotch and around up through here. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do 2 lines. One's going to be a little smoother than the other and not as, I don't, let's start with one that just creases in. So we'll make a new paint layer. I'm going to call you creases. And then we'll just, so I'm going to draw this out with the pen tool right now as it is. And then I'm going to adjust that. And then we're going to move on to, can I drag you through here without touching legs? I think that makes sense. So here, let's tweak. So I can't see my pass. I hate this. I gotta adjust the pass, but I got this stupid. That is just so, it just annoys the frick out of me. So for this, we're just going to go like that. I think I'm going to swap that out for the brush alpha, if I can remember what that was. Maybe that alpha will do the trick. I don't know. Let's take a look. Maybe a different alpha. Did I drop that in there? I did not drop that alpha in there, did I? Oh, yeah. Or did I? I did drop the alpha in here, but I'm not really seeing it. Well, let's just try the soft circle inverted gradient. That's probably going to pop out, but I might be, yeah, we're not going to do that. What are you called? I can never remember the name of the basic alpha brush. I'll know it when I see it. That's the thing. And I'm going to try to remember. I'm going to say it out loud in the vain attempt to remember what it is next time I need to use it. See, that's just a round alpha. I call it rivet. That one's one I made. That's kind of what I was using for the piping. It kind of works out nice for those. Shape. That's what it is. It's shape. That's what we're looking for. I think shape will do the trick. I'm going to put that underneath the piping, though. And then I just want to run that up. And I think I'm going to make that maybe a little bit larger. I have to actually have it selected to do that. I think that's good. Is there a way to smooth that, or it's probably fine. Let's take a look at how that's looking. That's a little harsh, though, isn't it? You know what? I'm going to put a little blur filter on here to smooth that out. Add a filter over here. Blur. We like that. We'll tweak that a little bit. And then I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. Where's my size? There it is. And I think that's going to do the trick. And then we'll just put the other crease right up the middle of the back. Actually, move you over just a little. Then escape, start that. This is the one that just goes straight up the back. Yep, I think that's good. Oh, you're supposed to be trimmed a little bit, aren't you? The belt under. So let's tweak that. I want to trim it right through here. Actually, belt under should probably be under piping. And then I got to mask off. And we want to set up our normal maps. Let's get that stuff set up. So let's pop over here to normal. Belt over, I think, is just height map, but if we put a height to normal filter on that, right there, yay. Let's do the same thing for the piping. Add another filter to that. Put another height to normal filter on that. I could probably, yeah, I'm going to do it on each one. I could probably group them and put them all together, but I think that's just going to overlead. Did that not do anything? You did not do anything, and you are probably too strong. Do I have to put that on each one of these? Dang, dog. That's tedious. You're not doing anything. You are totally all set to... Do I have to... Let's try... I can't see my paths because my window's too narrow. Arc. There it is. So if I do that, does it show up? I don't even remember which one that was supposed to be. Which one are you? Yeah, I'm totally not seeing you making a normal map indent yet. I mean, what I could do is save the height map, load it back in, and then put a height to normal filter on it, I guess. Although this should work, although probably not because of the paths. Can I put a filter on a path? You're just hating me. Do I need to stick this in a group or something? If I get rid of this, let's try. Are you generating height maps? I think you are generating height maps, right? They're right there. So why are you not generating a normal map when I put a filter on you? Let's try this. If I just group layers and then does this work if I add the filter onto here? We have to pop over and take a look at the normal map. Nope, still not. Dang it. The frickin' height to normal doesn't work with the paths. That's annoying. I shouldn't have to figure out cool tricks to get around shit like this. It is. All right, I got a bunch of other stuff I'm going to put height to normal on just to be sure. So we're going to do the same thing here. Add a filter. Height to normal. That was the underbelt. See, I'm not seeing that either. Belt over worked. And it's a path. But all these others aren't. Is it because the normal? Let me get rid of that. Let's delete these. I'm going to undo that. I will remove effect. And I think maybe if we group all of these together, like so. Oh, wait. Those are showing up now. What the hell? This must have been blocking out. This one here must have been blocking the others underneath it. So let's see if we can, if we put them all together into one group. Dum, 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 because the normals are set to, okay, I think I know what I'm doing now. If I come here, if I look at the normal, there we go. And what is the thing? The normal thing? Something, something, something normal. You know what? I'm just going to group all these together, and then we'll put the height to on that. So I'm going to remove that. Actually, I'm going to put it on here. We'll get there. Height to normal. There we go. Then I can just take that and drag it into here. Yay, there it is. Then I can take belt under and drag it into here. Although that should be over the piping as well. And then we can take the creases and drag them in as well. So there's the creases. And if I close this, actually, do I need that? I don't think I need that one. So folder 4 is not needed anymore. All right, and then we have things like this. Can I just drag you in there like that? Is that going to work? Nope. Because I have you set to the wrong thing. What are you? What are you? NM normal something something something. There it is. Normal map combined. Is that what that is? Normal map detail. Normal map inverse detail. I think that's normal map. Nope, that was the wrong one. Normal map detail. I think that was normal map detail. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So front leather, we're going to set that to normal map detail. And I don't know why I'm not seeing that. Because you don't have a... You probably need... probably need to add the filter there, don't I? There we go. Yay. Okay, we got limb leather. I'm going to do the same thing with this. There we go. All right, we got to clean some stuff up. I have a little bit of weird overlaps there. In there. So we're going to have to mask those out, I think. Also, I'm going to clean up the collar a little bit. And then we'll see how this all looks. I think and then I want to put some numbers on the back, right? We'll do the classic 33 to start with. I did ID this font, so we'll hunt that back down. I got 5 minutes. We'll maybe do a little bit longer than that. I forget what oh yeah, we're going to clean the limbs up. I need to clean this stuff out so that it doesn't... I need to clean that. So actually, if I come over here and set you to normal, that's what I was afraid of, because I need to blend it in. But I need this not to blend with that. So I think belt over and belt under need to kind of be pulled out here, grouped together, and then add their own filter for height to normal. And we're going to switch that to normal. Oh, it blocks everything though. Damn it. That's annoying. You shouldn't be generating a height map only in where you're painting. Wah. Anyway, I'm going to put that all back. My solution is going to be to clean up these, I guess. So let's see if we can do that with a mask. Let's start with limb leather and see if I can mask this stuff out. So if I put a black mask on there, does it go away? It does. If I put a white mask on there, nothing happens. But we can paint it out with this. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to mask out. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I can just mask that out. It's kind of like an erase. So I just have to do that in all the overlaps. And I can do this. We're on the same layer with the shoulders, so I can clean that up here. I think, yep, yeah, yes. And you know what? We're going to clean. That's a separate cleanup. Okay. This needs to be cleaned up in some of the spots too. But right now we're just doing the limbs. So that should be good. Okay, now I'm going to clean up this front. Let's close you down. Let's come into, what are you? You're a black mask. Oh, how do I do this? Yeah, you're a fill. You know what I mean to do? I probably need to stick this into yet another layer that I can put a white mask on and then mask that out. Let's try that. So if I group that, and we add a white mask to that, and then can I? Yep, that works. Okay. Overly complicated, but does the trick. Oh, and yeah, you don't need to be through here, do you? Dang it. What are you coming from? I got this little weird crease in here from somewhere. We're getting there. Holding the shift key down doesn't work as well as it should sometimes. Okay, then we just clean up this edge down through here. See, when I do that, I can no longer shift click because it loses where it was last, which is annoying. And it's 2 o'clock. That's okay, we're almost there. All right, I'm happy. Do I got all my normal maps? Do they look copacetic? Yeah, I think they're going to work. I still want to tweak the color a little bit, and then maybe we'll throw a number on here. And I just want to tweak the height map in here to just be a little higher than this. So here, let's close these down. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing with, if I duplicate this layer, and all of these are too high, I probably have to go adjust them. And then I've painted a layer for the color on top of that right in here and set that to normal. And I'm just going to do that with the regular old paintbrush. I'm just going to kind of, dang it, there we go. So make that hard, bring that in there. And then can I just do, nope, that's going wrong. Undo that. Let's go back to, okay, there I am. This is good. Okay, set that to height, turn off the color, set the height to be up, up, up. And also let's put our filter for the layer for the normal on here. Okay, now let's see if I can paint this. I want to get that, we should try to run this edge right here. Dang it, there was that thing I was talking about. It would be nice if it just picked up from the last spot I clicked because I rotated something. I got some garbage in there. Oh, you're probably from the limbs. So we'll try to fix that. I'm getting a weird seam in here. I think I'm going to finish up this collar and then we'll probably call it, we'll get the numbers on here, then we'll call it a day on this. Well, actually, let's get it dumped into Daz and then I'll call it a day. Then we're going to render a bunch of promos for the Go-Go outfit. I'm going to torture you with that. And then maybe if I can make good progress on that, we can start working on the shoes for the whatchamacallit. All right, I think this is from here. Let me see. Limb leather. I think that does not seem to be the case there. Nope. You are not in the front leather. I don't know what you are. I have no idea what that is. I might have to manually. What the hell are you from? That was probably a click through, wasn't it? That was totally a click through. Is this some sort of weird click through over here? That is some sort of weird click through in here. But why are you not? Anyhow, let's erase that. We have an eraser tool. Let me just make sure I'm erasing everything because by default it only does color. Why? I don't know. Where's the I better hit save on this. So where's my channel options here? Did I just go past? Oh, come on, man. I have the eraser tool picked. There's a thing in here that tells me which channels, and I'm not seeing it. And that's not doing anything. Why, oh, why? Is it because it's a pencil tool and I can't fix that? Maybe. That's annoying. Can I just put a white mask? I'll just put a white mask on it. Why are you not black? Oh, I need a paint layer on there, right? Right here, I need a paint layer. And then I can, nope. Still. Where's my color on there? What the frick? Did you? Oh, I'm still on the eraser tool. Damn it. Oh, you're just not. I gotta read. You know what? This is garbage. I gotta throw that away. I'm just gonna throw that away. It's just easier. Now if I put a paint layer in here and I start painting. Nope. Let's try that again. It's still not doing anything. It's because I don't have the height turned on. Where's my height? Oh, for crying out loud. There it is. No, I have the height, but it's not giving me the options. My brush broke. Why do I have no material here? That's my problem. Is that? All right, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to not worry about the color anymore. I'll try to tweak that later. Let me see if I can get a couple numbers on here, and then we'll call it a day on this. Well, we'll export it out. Everything always takes longer than I had planned. So anyhow, we're going to find a couple of numbers that look like that. This is an actual font. Forget about it. Exactly. So here, I'm going to do this. Fallout fonts. Fonts in the Fallout series. There we go. Fallout TV show. This is it right here. Madeira. That did not paste like I planned it to. Control V. Madeira font. There we are. Monotype. Does this give me an option of previewing it? No, we'll go to are you at My Fonts? We'll go to My Fonts. Hey, just from $45, and it's pointing to the wrong font. There it is. Let's take a look at this font. Can we do the sample thing? If I do that, and we can make it big. And I'm going to be really cheesy about this. Cookies. Functional cookies only. Social media cookies off. Always active. Functional cookies. Can I just turn you off? Targeting cookies. Fuck you. Alrighty. Of course, see 6 more. There we are. There it is. That right there works. So I'm going to print screen that because I'm a cheesy bastard. We're going to open up Photoshop. I could actually just draw this in Illustrator, but I'm going to slack today. I'm going to just open up PowerPoint. I'm really slacking today. Blank presentation. Control A. Delete all of that. It's in the way of chat. I know. Control V. Crop to that. I probably should have done this in because I want to flip this. Actually, we want to invert this. Can I invert in Substance? I probably can. Let's Control X that. Do I have Photoshop open in the background? I don't. I'm going to have to try to open Photoshop here while that's doing its thing. Let's make sure that this is saved. Let's pop back over to... Is Photoshop coming up somewhere? There it is. Control N. Control V. Control I. Let's sharpen that up just a little bit. Oops. Control N, and we'll just adjust the curves. That was the wrong thing. Control M. That's what I wanted. I'm just going to sharpen that up a little bit. File. Save as a copy. You're looking at the go-go dress. We don't want the go-go dress. We want Action Spy. Whip. Right here. I'm going to save you as a JPEG. Okay, then we'll just come over. Yo, Leo, how are you doing? I am a little rusty on... I think I can make this a brush and paint it in with a color. That's what I'm thinking. We're working on a Fallout suit texture for my Onyx Spy outfit as a request. I'm about done with it. I still have to do a little on the collar, but I'm about to stop for the day. But I'm just going to add the numbers, and then we're going to call it a day. Let's do File, Import Resources, Add Resources. You are, of course, nowhere near where I need to be. That's fine. Action Spy and Whip and 33. And I'm going to open that up. And we're just going to call you, that tells me that I loaded it in. And you know what? I'm going to call you an alpha map. I'm going to import you. And then let's see if we can set this up as a brush. Let's do a paint layer. I don't want to do height. I'm just going to do color. And I'm going to get rid of that stencil. And does that doing anything? Nope. I need a material in here. My brush is janked. Hold on. Let me see if we can just get a better brush in here. Basic art. Why do you have no material on you? I hate the way that it does this sometimes. Suit would look good on... Yeah, there is one in the Daz store. But I had a request to do one for this outfit. He actually asked me to make one, but I'm not going to do that. I just don't have enough time to recreate a proper vault suit. So the thing was, if you can't do the vault suit, can you at least make a texture for this outfit? So here we go. I'm going to hit save and I'm going to restart. I'm just becoming frustrated with my settings. They've gone south on me. Let's see if I restart. I'm one of those guys that just keeps doing the same things over and over again. So when something goes wrong that's just a little bit outside of my normal path with Substance, I have no idea. It's like Blender does that too. Every now and then I'll fat finger something. I have no idea what I did. I can't get out of it. Anyhow, here's hoping. We'll reopen that. I'm pretty sure there are a couple of Ella Purnells out there, aka Jackie from Yellow Jackets. It's like eating Raoul, but different. All right, let me see if I can find that mask again. And if I just drop you right there, and we make you bigger. And if I do that, see, there we go. And then we just need to get the right color. You know what? This color is about the same as the belt color, so we're going to match that. Let's come over here and grab that color. Where are you? I've clumped everything together in frickin' folders now. There it is. Belt over. Do I have a color for that? No. Are you a pen? Are you a... You are a... There we go. There it is. So I'm going to do this. Copy that. Right? You can come back over to here. And now I can set this color. I'm still in the pen tool. Now I can set this color to that. And let me just take a look at where is that kind of placed. So maybe somewhere about in there would be good. So I'm going to call it there for the day for this outfit. Let's do a quick dump it onto the Onyx suit and see how that's looking. Control Shift. So we'll save that. I'm going to do a Control Shift E. We're not using opacity map, so I'm going to do my 5-channel preset like that. Export that. Let's launch DAZ. And it doesn't matter how many levels in do you have. I've gotten the habit of saving incrementally in Blender now. Yeah. Substance does do autosaves at relatively decent intervals, but still. And I think Blender does do autosave files, but you know, you can't trust Blender. Uh-oh, somebody accidentally saved his main file with a go-go dress in it. Let's try this again. Don't you hate it when your startup file accidentally gets stuff saved into it? Alrighty, where is the... I'm going to pull my content library over onto screen 2 for a second. While I make sure that I'm navigating without getting myself banned on Twitch. I think did I reload you into one of my test folders or something? I did. Okay, you're over here. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, I can bring this back now. This is a safe space. I think we did the boots too. So here, let's just do that. I think I just do a generic brown texture for the boots. We're not going to use this belt buckle. And I'm going to try to find out where I'm going to save these textures. I'm working out of my test folder here. We're going to this runtime and textures and me and Onyx Spy outfit and Vault suit. There we go. Okay, so we have those there. And we just created... What are you? It seems to think I've got multiple. Oh, I know, the boots are in here. Right. So it's making mess. So I think what I need is that's the color. That I don't need. That's the height map that I want. That's a limb mask. That metallic looks like it's black, so we could skip that. That is the normal map. And that is my roughness map. And did I rename these boots? Nope, these need to be renamed boots so I don't overwrite them. So let's do that. So I'm going to call you... Oh, no, you do say boots. Never mind. So I should be able to just paste that in there. Should be good. Boots do have a metallicity on. Okay, so let's put these on and see what we got for right now. I'm probably going to tweak it a little bit further but right now. Hello, Daz. Let's see how this works with dragging and dropping. Let's do the boots first. Go into the surface tab. I'm just going to select all of this. We'll just reset it back to, actually, I think this is good. I can just drag and drop these in. So boot metallicity goes right about there. Turn that on. Let's see, boot color. I'm just making generic brown boots for these. And these boots are totally inaccurate for what we want, but that's okay. That's just the way I'm going to roll with this one. Did you get changed? You did not get changed. Let's try that again. You're being a butt. You're being total butt. Let's see if I can get it. Sometimes this dragging and dropping in Daz doesn't do what I think it's supposed to do. There's the roughness. I'm going to put you over there. I think that's all good for the boots. So let's move on to the spy outfit and go over the surfaces for that. To this. That all looks good. So we'll just do a bunch of dragging and dropping. Anyhow, my metallicity is actually off on that one there. There's our color. There's my normal map. Did you get changed? You did. There's my height map. That looks like it got changed. And there's my roughness map. Let's just take a quick look at how this is looking. And then I'm just going to save these as material files. And so Control R on that. I think I can put you away. I'm running low on drink. Oh, I've got my displacement map. We got to tweak the displacement map. I got to actually turn it off. So that's a reminder. I need to change the displacement map on this to fit a little bit better. I'll probably do that later. Anyhow, let's stop that. Let's come back over to here, select all of those, and so I'm going to redo the displacement map later. I'm going to say none for right now. And then I'm just going to Control R. I do want to add, I will need to add a displacement map. So that's looking okay. You know what? I probably don't need that crease through here. I should probably remove that. So I am seeing my creases. Let's get that in frame a little bit better and try this again. Yeah, it's a start. I think the displacement maps will help. So I do need to go back, and I have a crease that goes through here. We need to just remove it from here. I thought I had removed it from there. Oh, no, 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 wait, that's not a crease. That's an actual seam. That's right. That's the whole zipper seam down the front. Oh, this needs to be touched up a little bit right in here, too. So that needs to still be fixed. This part, the outside of the belt shouldn't go into the blue. This part should. And let's take a look at the back. I think I'm inside a light. Let's come over here. It's a start. We're getting there. I may pick this back up on Monday or Tuesday. That's fine. Anyhow, so we're making progress on the Fallout texture for the Onyx spy suit. Now I'm going to spend some time rendering up some promo images for the Go-Go outfit. And then maybe in a half hour or 45 minutes, I'll try to start some sneakers for the Totally Not a Hooters outfit. We'll stop that. I'm going to save these, though, first. Materials. Actually, right here, we're going to put Materials Vault Suit. So we'll add a new subfolder for this. And this is what I'll redistribute to people later as the free add-on. So create a subfolder. Materials Vault Suit. Accept that. Come into here. I'm just going to do material preset. Vault suit textures. Do that. All right, we'll just make sure we're not including any simulation settings and accept that. Going to impatiently wait while it saves. Mostly while it updates the CMS. The more stuff you have, the longer this takes. I may have too much stuff. And then we got to save the boots. Anyhow, so if you need a bathroom break, I could just turn the CMS off. That's always an option. Dang, you're running slow today. You got to get Snow Bunny one of those suits. You can pick them up at Amazon, dude. There's a lot of cosplays of these outfits. All right, let's do the boots. Vault boots texture. And I don't think I have simulation settings on the boots. I don't, so that's good. We'll just hit accept on that, and then we impatiently wait again. And I got PowerPoint open. So while that's going on, I'm going to open up some stuff over here on screen too while that's happening. Let's take a look at Twilight Teddy. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to use this as our starting point. We're going to render out some hierarchical material presets. I don't think I need to do the opacity options here. So here, let's do this. File, save as, let's go, let's browse. Let's come to promos. Let's go to 60s Go-Go. This is going to be promos, 60s Go-Go landscape. And so we don't need those. Oops. I'm going to say hierarchical. Hierarchical. I can never pronounce that. I'm going to spell it right. There we go. Copy that. They're probably going to do 2 or 3 pages of this. So I definitely do need that, and I don't need those. I'm going to get rid of these. I'm not sure I'm going to show material options, so that might go away. These are the, so we are going to render that out, so we're going to come back to that. That is the shapes. We do need those, and that's the special morphs. Clean this up. And did you really? Where are you? Okay, this should be done by now. Are you done? You're finally done. Okay, excellent. Let's set this up. Let's start by doing the IDs and the grays. So did I accidentally delete anything? No, I think that's fine. So file, open, grays and IDs should be good. Would I like to save the changes here? I'm going to be bold and say no, because we did save out the material files. I still haven't finished watching the Fallout series. I got to get back to that. I finally got back to finishing Lost in Space. So I guess I can finish watching the last few episodes of Fallout. Are we good? We're good. Let's delete these outfits and bring in the new ones. So those. What am I working on? I'm working on a 60s Go-Go, right? I knew that. So I have invisible Genesis 8s in here, so we're going to put the Genesis 8 one on. And we're going to make it gray, and then we're going to make a version that's got the colors showing the surface zones. You are over here in test 3, people, Genesis 8, clothing, yada, yada, yada. There we go. Select that, apply, and Control D. So we're going to select that one and apply, and Control D. So I have these invisible Genesis 8s in here. Control D. And there's one more. And Control D. Excellent. So now I'm just going to grab all of these. And here, we'll turn that on now. I can kind of see what I'm doing. And you know what? I got to expand the belt out. There's the zippers. So we'll get those as well. All right, we go over to surfaces. Select all of these. Click into here because I want to also select that and that. And there's a zipper down here. And I need to select you and you. And let's see if we can get these zippers. There's a zipper there. And a zipper there. And then I've got more zippers over here. And then over here. And probably, oh, you know what? Those are linked, aren't they? They're instanced. All right, let's redo this. Now let's see. Now let's make sure I got everything selected over here. Pop over here to my handy dandy generic shader file. Apply that. And then apply this generic gray that I tend to use. Okay, let's put, I think I had, did I have a displacement? I do. Displacement on, so I'll turn that on. And then I'm going to put separate colors on these over here. So those are the grays. These are going to be the surface. So we're going to start with the dress. I'm going to say dress and dress. And then I'm just going to pop back over to here. Apply that. Collar. It's a different color. The dress trim gets a different color, and the dress zipper gets a different color. All right. Moving along, let's grab this, this, and this, and this. So we'll do the belt. There's a whole bunch of parts on the belt. So we'll start with flower 1. And then I had this thing called flower 2. And flower 3. And flower 4. So the little belt ends only go up to 4, but the others go up to 7. Let's make you that color there. I do have the links. Let's go ahead and do the links. And then these two have got something called 5 and 6 and 7. Excellent. Then we got the boots. Boot and boot. Heel. Heel cap. Heel counter. Midsole, sole, toe, zipper, zipper slide. This is actually part of the boot. It doesn't actually do anything. And then I have these little zipper pulls. There it is. All right, I think we're good. All right, so that's going to be the grays and the IDs. We're going to render that out. This shouldn't take that long to render. And those don't look like they're gray. Damn it. Yep, that didn't turn gray. So we'll just copy that and paste it over here. And what about you guys? You look like you turned gray. Excellent. Okay, back to the default camera. I'm going to save this into my promo folder. File, save as scene. Yeah, right in here. Go IDs and grays. All right. I think I'm rendering with a transparent background, but we'll just double check because I can't remember. Draw dome is off. Yay. Draw ground is also off. Excellent. Control R. This also shows what the back looks like too. I do try to do an artistic render with a back showing, but in addition to that, you also get these. Not nearly as many materials as I often will use. It's a fairly simple dress, though. It doesn't need that much. Charles wants it to be shorter, though, I'm sure. I forgot. I should add a shorter morph just for Sarah. All right, how are you doing? 96. We're getting there. It's almost done. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break here. I will be right back. All right, I'm back already. I just needed to make sure I'm saving this into that my promo folder was Twitch safe. It is, so we're good. So we've rendered that. I'm going to hit save on this. So we're going to bring back the PowerPoint right here. I'm going to go into my promos right here. We're going to go get that IDs and grays right there, what we just rendered, and we're just going to drag and drop that there and center that up on the, get that onto the page a little bit better. Let's move this text out of the way and maybe make you just a little bit smaller so that everything fits nicely. Looking good. All right, I'm going to hit save on that. Right now we're just going to do the sample shapes. So I have a folder set up for that, oddly enough. And we'll show off some of the various material options at the same time. Not that you also don't get those in their own separate. But anyhow, my brain stopped. I'm opening up a DAZ file. There we go. File, open recent. Do I have a shapes in here? I don't see one. Wait, sultry shapes, sultry. There we go. And then we'll just save this. This is also a double check for deforcing too with the shapes, because I'm going to put them on and then we're going to run the sim on each one of these. Actually, I can do them 2 groups at a time and they won't hit each other. Actually, with this, I might be able to do them all at once. I'm going to try that. So this loads up with 3 Genesis 8s and 3 Genesis 9s already in the scene, posed and spread out. They are currently wearing the sultry suit, which I submitted to DAZ last week. I think I got that submitted by Sunday or Monday. It takes a little bit of time to load all those figures in. And I can't see chat anymore. Sorry if anybody said anything. I missed it. Nope, we are buying Snow Bunny a vault suit. And we're still waiting for Daz to open. All right, something's happening. Still waiting for Daz to get caught up. There we go. And we're just going to delete all of these out. And then we just have our plastic mannequins in here. Totally not real people. All right, is good. Now we're just going to come back over to here and just put these on. And we pop over to the Genesis 9 and put them on those. I think that's good. Let's do a save as for this. File, save as, scene, go shapes. Accept that. Let's move you. All right, let's put some. We'll test out some of our hierarchical material files. All right, this is the hero texture, so I'm going to leave that on that one. So I think I'm going to make you Groovy 2. You are going to be Paisley 2. Oops, I put that on a Genesis 8. That's why there was an error. Let's make you Groovy 4 Dirty. Warren Groovy 4. Excellent. Let's make you maybe... You know what? I'm going to do you as Paisley 2. And then we got to go back. Hierarchical material presets work with only the specified figure, so I can't use Genesis 9 versions on Genesis 8. So we have to come over here. And there is that. And you're the hero, so you get to stay like that. You're going to be a Dirty Groovy 3. And you're going to be the other Paisley. We'll do that. There we go. I see that Rudoso and M had their first flash flood. Third flash flood. Dang. All right, are we good? All right, I'm going to run a simulation on this. Just so that we make sure the dress kind of accurately represents how it'll fit on the figures. They should be good right now. I might need to tweak some of my belts a little bit. Anyhow, let's run this sim and see if anything bad happens. Also, there's a way to tell me if I got to fix anything. We got 2 Paisleys, Art. Yay, did not explode right away, so that's a good sign. Of course, we don't really celebrate until it's all done. Did you ever eat? No. I don't recall the last time I had a pine nut. I never really had a lot of pine nuts. It would have been like on a in a restaurant or something, on a salad, I suppose. Anyhow, we're patiently waiting for the sim. 69, 70, 71. Pine nuts are now mostly from China. Okay, do they still make them in Albuquerque, or it's not really, the economics just don't work out? I'm not sure it's still the case, but at one time the Port of Sacramento was the largest exporter of rice in the world. obscure agricultural fact that I just happen to know. And that may not be true anymore. That would have been like the 80s or the 90s. Like maybe 30 years ago. So I shouldn't really quote facts from 30 years ago on agriculture anymore. Of course, that wouldn't stop he who shall not be named. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to hit render on this and let's see how it looks. I can't quite see if anything went amiss. It's just too small. So anyhow, have I saved this? I have. So we'll save this again since we have successfully run our sim on it. And now we'll just hit the render and we'll just chill for a little bit here. So hopefully I don't break stream or anything. Okay, I'm going to try to render out a bunch of material files, save those out, and then we'll move on to maybe working in Blender for a little bit. So the part I'm really concerned about is how the belt's fitting on the dress. And you can see that the heavy distortions you get in there. Not a lot I can really do about that. You seem to have drifted a little bit. I gotta look into that. That belt seems to be off. It should be down here, I think. No, it's fine. It's fine, I think. No, it's not fine. You're drifting. You've come off your rigid follow node. I might have broken something in there. How's my render looking? 6%, only 6%. I probably shouldn't do this on stream. Let's check. MSI Afterburner. Am I using the graphics card or did I fall out? Nope, I'm still using GRAM. So it's probably okay. Right there, I can see that it didn't drop. It's still maxed out from the render, so I'm still... Yo, Plobby! And thank you for that sub. I appreciate that. There's a dyslexic heart for you. I know, I gotta make a Plobby command, don't I? I'm a slacker. Let's put that away and slowly watch our render cook. I'm probably gonna... Actually, I'm up to 24% already with only 73 iterations. I can probably abort this early and it'll probably be okay. Although I might have to redo this because that's looking a little not where it quite should be. I am on a 1080 Ti, yeah. Someday when I win the lottery, I'll get a better computer. I think that might need a little fixing there too. So I think I'm going to stop this render and probably tweak some things and have to redo it. So let's do that. Do I want to cancel this render? I'm going to say yeah, yes. Let's cancel that. Let's save it. We're going to call you shapes. And then I'm going to hit save on this, and I'm going to set up a little bit more render. I have been really happy with my 1080 Ti. And only now with the 400s or the 500s or the 50s or the 40s and 50s do I feel the need. I don't know, the 20s and the 30s. I mean, I guess they were better. For for what I do, it's like the amount of VRAM is like one of the big choke points. Um, and 11 was pretty good for the longest time. And what am I doing? Did I hit save on this? And I'm going to do file new. And I'm going to pop over here and stick this in just as a placeholder. Yeah, if I could swing 4 or 5 grand, but money's just been tight for many years. And I know it would really speed up my, because that would have probably been an instantaneous render, more or less. Something like a 490. Yeah, what does a 490 got? Like 24 gigs? Where did my... There we go. And then I'm just going to take those and put them right there. So that's the sample shapes that are supported. I'm going to hit save on this. Now I'm just going to render out the material presets, and then we're going to move on to Blender. Actually, I'm going to do this for maybe another 10 or 15 minutes, and then I might not be done by then. So I'm going to do File, New. Going to do that. I'm going to make this kind of narrow. There we go. All right, let's load in. I'm going to work with the Genesis 9. Come on. Come on. Stop thinking. And we're going to put the female shape on that. And then we're going to come back over here. And where am I? I think I'm in Genesis 8, right? Let's go back to Genesis 9. Let's put that on. Control D. Okay, so I'm going to kind of render that. We're going to adjust the size of this render. I think we'll do 512 by 1024. Or do I want to... Yeah, actually, I can make it even smaller than that. General, there we go. Do I want to do 256 by 512? Is that too? I'll try that. I'm going to hide these. Let's come over here to surfaces. Select all of that and make them visible. Excellent. Let's put that right there. And let's do a render. And then I just got to do this like however many times. Oh, I forgot to set some stuff up. We're going to cancel that. I already know it's not right. Dang it. Yes, I want to cancel. In render settings, I forgot to do a couple things. We don't want to draw the dome. I don't want to draw the ground. I'm going to hide this portrait light set. All right, now we're going to do our render. Oh, by the way, check out the Liverick mug. I picked that up a little while ago. I think... Is this how you spell Liverick? Did I get that right? I did. There you go. Liverick is selling merch on a store somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where that is. But anyhow, it's got this cool Chickens and Tents mug. Anyhow, that's done. Let's save you. Do I want to cancel this render? You know what? I'm going to let it finish cooking. It's probably good enough, though. That's probably good enough. Yes, we're going to cancel that, stop that, save this. This is going to be hierarchical material 01. And then we're just going to pop over here. And then, yeah, actually should probably be 2 or 3. Let's see, I'm going to choose you. We do that. And it does its thing. It changes its color to black. Excellent. Do a render of that. So it's a silver belt with a black outfit, and I still have brass on the boots because I was just lazy. And my mug is officially empty. Damn it. 98. Oh, it's done. That one went faster. How come? I don't know. And I want this one to be HM01, so we're going to change you to HM03. Two. I'm going to make you 2. And then I'm going to save 1. And then we're going to move on to Groovy 2. And render that. So I'll do this for a few more minutes, then we'll call it a... what do I have, like... I want to say 16 of these. So, you know, maybe we'll just knock them out. And then look at Blender and choose. Are you still 0%? What the hell? What is it about this that was... Oh, there it is. It's now at 34%. So while that's happening, I'm going to try to dig up my shoe references. I think somewhere, do I have a Totally Not Hooters reference file? I think I've lost it. Dang it. I know I'm looking up Skechers. That's what we're shopping for. That's almost done. I better save that and do the next one. Probably close enough. There it is. It says 100. Doing that. Hit save. Hierarchical material 03. Move on to Groovy 03. Control R to start the render. Chris is going to go shopping. I'm going to log out of my Amazon account, though. We're on screen 2 doing that. Oh, you're too small. I can't see the thing. All right, sign out. There we go. Back to Amazon. Skechers. There it is. Skechers Women's Delights Fresh Start Memory Foam Lace-Up Sneakers. So we're going to try to do something that's going to be similar to that. So I'm going to try to... I'm probably going to take a lot of shortcuts and simplify things, but this is generally the look we're going for. And for what I understand, this is generally the preferred shoe of waitresses at a certain owl-themed restaurant. And that's probably good enough, so we're going to cancel that. And we're going to save that out. It's going to be HM04. There's Groovy 04 and Control R that. It's the race. If I hit 315 before these are done, we'll move on to Blender until 4. And then we raid out. We'll find somebody exciting to go hang out with. So what do I have open in the background I don't need anymore? We are done with you. It's the vault suit we were working on. It's a texture for an outfit of mine. We're a vault suit. So that's happy. Let's hit save on that and get that out of the way. You are almost done, so we'll let you come up. I think I can shut down Photoshop. That's probably good enough. Save that. HM05. There's our Paisley 1. Paisley was kind of popular in the 60s. And with art. So finally, Art gets the Paisley texture he's always dreamt of. All right, let's shut down Photoshop in the background while we're waiting for this to do its thing. Where did Photoshop go? Where the hell are you, Photoshop? Evil rat bastard, you. All right, I don't need to save that. I think I'm just gonna, you know what? I think I'm just gonna finish 8 of these and then we'll move on. Then I'll go back and get the worn versions later. And that stuff is gonna go in here, and then this gets exported out as a JPEG, this PowerPoint file, and that's what I use for my promos. So those textures, and you know what? I can start bringing those in while we're waiting. We're going to put in the groovy ones, and we can put in the other ones. Go. So I'm going to, there's the groovies. Are you being a butt? You're being a butt. Don't be a butt. It's because I got too much stuff going on at the same time. There we go. How are we doing over here? You look like you're done. Okay, let's save that. I think you're HM06. And then this is the second Paisley. That looks almost 70s with those colors. Those browns and tans and earth tones. Okay, so this is going to get your... So these are going to get aligned like this. Then I'm going to take the worn versions of those and add them to here as well. So I'm going to shrink these down. I'm going to space them out. Kind of like that. I think they still need to be a little bit smaller. And then when I get the worn ones rendered, they'll sit like right about there. I think they need to be a little bit smaller still, though. And then the next page will have the black, the white, and the 2 Paisleys. So here, I'm going to save that. Are you done yet? I think you're still running, aren't you? You're close to done. Where's my picture? Yeah, we're going to call that good. And then I'm going to just save the white one. So that's 7. And then that's the white. Control R. So if you need to do your own recoloring, the white one's a good starting point. I have to do a save on this because I don't want to save that as a startup file. You're going to be HM. Go HM. I'm going to do that. I'm still working on getting wrinkles done with normal maps. That's, I don't know, that could be better. But next time. Every project, try to do something a little bit better. So next time I'm going to try to do more wrinkles with the normal maps and try to get them to look a little bit better than that. And we do have normal map wrinkles in the boots. Those turned out okay. I think that's probably good enough. And then we'll save that. HMOA. I'm going to stop here with this for today. Let's do a save as scene. And you're going to go. Damn it. Right here. All right. Go, mats. Accept that. Okay, so I think I'm going to, let's put that there. I don't need that. We don't need you anymore. Are you my Discord? You're my Discord. Why are you over there? Don't be over there. Be over there. I think I might have started these shoes in Blender, but let's find out. I still don't have the most recent version. I still just have the release candidate of 4.5. Although I saw a little short on how they really did some really cool stuff with the grid fill. 4.5 launches a lot slower though. Hell yeah, I got the best viewers, Bot Boy. You know that. However, you still smell like a bot. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate that, man. CS Bonds on the case, baby. All right. Aerobic shoes blend. Let's try that. What do I got in there? There we go. I'm going to save that as... And I need to get a figure in here. Do I? I just have this shoe in here, don't I? Cube. I'm going to put you shoe. And let's get some reference pictures in here. Where do we want to go? Projects. I totally forgot where I was saving this. Is this a server? Did I get its own folder? Nope. Should I put in shoes? Nope. All right, I'm lost. I have to try to figure out where this went. I did start this in Blender in here in Daz. So let's see where I put this. MVP server, that's what we're calling you. Let's browse the folder location and see where that is. Projects MVP server, there we go. That's what I called it. See, I've already forgotten what I'm calling this thing. No, I'm saving Yeah, here, MVP server. There we go. Let's put you in the whip folder. Shoe side. Shoe sole. I don't think I do want to see the back though. Do we get straight up back? I do not get a straight up picture of the back, do I? I get two pictures of the front. That's kind of the back. I kind of need that just to kind of get a feel. Do I need that? I don't need that so much. I do want this though, so we'll save that one. View in 3D. Wow. Let's take a look at that. I haven't played with that before. Save image as. Shoe view. Dum dum dum. That looks like a 3D scan. That is a... Yeah, because it doesn't go all the way through. I'm totally not going to steal that, though. That would be wrong. All right, let's, that's enough of that. I got my references. Let's bring in the sole view, and then we'll do the side view. I think that's all I really need. And then we'll line it up with the Genesis 9 later. But for right now, let's do this. And I'm going to do, oh, what is the thing? Is it Shift A? Image, reference. I put you in projects and you're in the MVP. And I think I was sticking you guys in here. Shoe sole, there we go. And yeah, let's just flip you. And let's move you up just a little bit. I want to try to line it up on that. I'm going to try to do that, and then we'll try to fit it to the foot a little bit better. We do this, I can kind of see through. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, let's put in a side view. Does that line up with... This is kind of a side view of the shoe. It's not exactly right, but should be close enough. So we'll do the same thing again. Image reference. Shoe side. That gives me a rough idea of what I'm working with. So let's move you back here. Let's move you up here for now. Let's kind of try to get the sole shape in first. So I need to do a little bit of cleanup on here. I got this extra row in here I don't need right now. So I think we'll just lose that. Oh, I know what that is. That's a little bit of a... Do I want that detailing on there? You know what? I think I'm going to leave that. No, I'm not. I'm going to lose that. If I dissolve you, will that look okay? And then I just need to do a little bit of weird merging. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I got this extra extruded detail. We'll just clean that out too. And a little bit of merging. And I got to merge here as well. Let's do it this way. And I think, yeah, I'm going to have one more on the other side that I got to clean up. All right, that should be a good starting shape. All right, let's start. Actually, do I have an inset in here? I do have an inset in here. Let me get rid of that. I'm going to add that back in later. Or am I going to? Actually, I'm going to leave that in here for now. I think I can use that. So I think I'm going to lower this down into here. And then delete the stuff above that. Let's, where's my mouse? Yeah, that'll probably be good. Although you didn't, why did you not cut through here? That makes me think I've got some bad, oh, I know. I do have some bad shapes in there. Oh, it's the tongue. It's a separate piece. Got it. Alrighty, X-ray. I'm going to switch into point mode, and we'll just kind of try to just pull stuff kind of line up. That's probably good, so probably pull these down a little bit. Let's see, you're probably... I might go with that. Although I really probably should put a cut in here just to get a, even though that then ends up with this weird, I don't know, let's do that. Let's knife through there. Did my knife, you know, the knife tool got changed a little bit. Oops. It suddenly looks different. That figures. I'm going to G-stretch that, actually. Make it a nice straight. So I think maybe something like that. Then I'm probably going to pull this out. Do I need this through here, though? Do I want to maybe just dissolve that out for now? I think so. And then this is going to become kind of like this. I need something that's going to come up in the front a little bit. I have that. I'm going to put that right there. I might want to widen this out a little bit. All right, let's work on the getting the sole to fit a little bit better. I think I'm going to hide everything but the very bottom. Do I want to do that? Actually, I want to, here, let's do this. That to there, around here, and I'm going to shift H, and I'm just going to try to get that to hit my reference a little bit better. So we're just going to do stuff like this. And then I'm going to have to clean up the other points that I can't see right now. Because they're totally going to get janky. I'm not even sure that's going to fit. We're going to fit this a little bit better later. You know what? That's a good start. Oops, I'm upside down. Maybe we just hide the references for right now. Alt H. And we can kind of see. So we need to do a little bit of tweaking on here. We can see that. Pull you out that. Let's actually, if I do this, I'm going to turn that off, and then we can just kind of adjust all of this to fit a little bit better. I'm not sure where you two, I guess you'll do that. And I was thinking I wanted these to be wider. Although it looks like I didn't grab, did I not have X-ray on? I gotta back up a little bit here because I missed a few points that I wanted to grab because I forgot to turn that on because I turned it off to see what I was doing. Actually, if I grab that and then scale X, that gives me a nice even. Excellent. I'm going to turn that back. There's a point in here that I can't see. I think that was it. How are we looking? You know, it doesn't look horrible. I think I might go with that. I probably want to make this a little higher. And probably crease this edge right here. Oh, I can't do that from here. You know, there's a way to see the sub D. And let me take a look at, are you my side view? So I want to try to, I think I want to try to flatten the front end down a little bit maybe. but I think I'm pretty close. And then I just need to, we'll get a Genesis 9 in here. And I'm going to stop paying attention to the guide, just head off in my own direction now. But I do want to maybe close the front of that foot down a bit. And then if I do that, maybe pull these in. All right, let's get a G9 in here. We'll put it to that. IG. Activate import, go over to G9, or just the generic old G9 and import that. And now I'm just going to roughly get this to fit onto that, and then I'm going to start detailing it out. At some point, we're going to add laces and eyelets. Probably not today. I'm probably going to get this roughly fitted to the foot. Let's do, you know, I got too much G9 in here. We only really need one foot. And most of the time, I like working off this foot over here. That's just me. So I'm going to flip that ASX -1. I'm going to turn on the, I love the new modified. Are you red? Why am I not seeing? There we go. That's red. So that should not be red. 3A. Let's go over to mesh normals and flip. There we go. Looking good. There's like a, and I did say I did want to get rid of this. So what I'm going to do is just do that. Get rid of the rest of this. Pop back into here. I'm going to line this up from the bottom. I'm actually going to line this up, and then I'm going to center it. Because I like. Let me. Before I do that, scale like 0. Is that what I want? Maybe pull you all over just a little. Probably, you know what? I should probably add another one of those knife cuts through here. Those used to be squares. Those little balls. All right. I selected the wrong thing. All right, let's G-stretch those. And let's make sure they are flattened in the... I'm doing a little bit of flattening this stuff out here. So let's grab those and those. So they all sit at the same level. Although this is going to curve up here in the front. I should probably add another cut or something in here. Is that 5-sided polys? That would probably, yeah, let's do this. From there to there. So that gives me a quad there and a quad there and not a 5 anymore. At least I hope that's what it's doing. That's what I'm trying to do. And then I'm just going to grab those. Oh, and I need to put a split through there too, don't I? All right, we'll do that. I should have just looped all the way around. Did you not cut? You did not cut. Let's try that again. You didn't cut. Why are you not cutting? Bad boy, bad boy. I'm going to just have to rebuild those. I'm going to just tear those faces out and put a sub D in here. Let's sub D that, and let's get rid of these. That one and that one. Only faces, so I leave that line in there. I just clicked on the wrong thing. Let's try that again. That one, and that one, and that one, and then I'll do that. There we go. And this, that, and the other. Yeah. Missed again. All right, let's G-stretch this. Get it all nice and lined up. Do that. Get from the side. I'm going to do this. And once again, I'm going to grab all of these. Nope, you're not my X-ray. Come on. Come on. Why is my X-ray not showing? I guess it is showing. Never mind. And we'll just make sure all of these are sitting flat like that. Not crazy about this, but I'm going to tweak. This right here is a little harsh looking, isn't it? So either these come forward or this goes back. I think I'm just going to run those back. This one right here. So I'm going to slide you over here. I'm going to match that. That did not GG. Match that like so. Is that a little bit smoother? I think so. It's still a little narrow. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, let's fit this to that foot. I want to rotate this just a little bit. I want my center line to be like right through from here to here. So I'm going to try to get that point on here and this point right there. And then we're just going to straighten them all up. Probably good. Alrighty. No, I'm going to do it out here. And where do I really... Yeah, I'm going to put the... I'm going to recenter this off of here. So let's set origin to 3D cursor. Should be good. And now I'm just going to move locally. Actually, let's position you like so. And then I'm going to RZ6. And that's the wrong way. RZ minus 12. That might do the trick. Tab in, scale, tab out. How are we looking? I'm getting close. All right, let's start fitting the foot into here. There's the thing that shows me what it looks like in edit mode, subdivided. I forget what that is though. Let me find that because I kind of want it. I kind of need to see how that's smoothing while I'm editing the wireframe. So you're going to kind of go like that, and then I'm going to try to pull that heel back and adjust that toe. Okay, I'm going to do some searching really quick. Blender, the subdivision in editing. In editor, in edit mode, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. Are not in edit mode unless you enable specific settings. To view in edit mode, you can either enable on cage in the sub-selecting or turn off optimal display. So in here, there might be, oh, there it is. That was not it. That's multi-res. Oh, I'm doing multi-res, aren't I? It is multi-res. Do I want to do multi-res? Do I just want to do sub D on this for right now? I think I'm just going to, you know what? We're just going to lose that. And let's just put a good old regular sub D on this for right now. And if I turn that off, oh, I can kind of see it now. Yay. That's going to kind of work. Okay. Excellent. And I kind of want to see X-ray because I want to, X-ray was on. I just can't see. I just can't see the foot. There we go. Now I can see the foot. Oh, that is really janky looking over there, isn't it? And I'm going to put on a little bit of proportional editing. And we're going to kind of adjust that fall off. And what I want is I want the foot to kind of be up a little bit higher than that. Actually, that's not too bad. Maybe just, I'm going to bring the sole down a little bit further so that the foot looks like it's sitting a little high. I hear birds. All right, I'm going to grab that. Grab that. Look at you from the side and kind of just pull you down a little bit. So you're sort of like that. Okay, back into here. I think we just want to pull that in a little. Bring that down a bit. Let's maybe bring you forward. Let's re-switch. Turn that off. And turn that off so I can kind of see what I'm kind of doing. Now I'm just kind of shaping stuff. So let's have that toe not poke through. So let's maybe, actually let's maybe pull these two out a little. Maybe bring you down a little bit. I do kind of want to pull that in. And of course, I did think that was gonna happen. I guess I just need to pull those back out. Just live with that there. Probably okay. All right, let's tighten up around the ankle a little bit. I'm going to probably add some padding in here. Probably okay. I'm thinking I'm going to extrude from this toe all the way around the sole. It'll give me a little bit of chunkiness there. And you guys are a little... I probably still need to pull that out. It's going the wrong way. And I have to have these fit socks. I got to remember to do that too. I should go find, did I do the socks? I should go hunt down the socks and make sure that the shoes are going to fit those. I still think I want this to be a little wider in here. I think I clicked on the wrong thing. I'm going to redo the way I did that. I think I'm just going to move like this. Actually, and let me turn off the proportional editing right now. I'm just going to put those two there. I'm going to bring these two out into here. I'm having a hard time selecting that other one. It's hidden under there. I can't get to it. Yeah, let's pull all of these. Arg. Is that everything? I think so. Put you down into here instead. Maybe something like that. You know what? I should have had this on local the whole time. Where are you? There you are. Think I'm good. I'm going to take a look at our shoe and let me... Actually, let's just look at it over here. Kind of get a feel. So I'm going to pull this out. That'll be fine. Then maybe I can add... maybe a little bit something in here, come down and around and back up. And you know what, maybe we'll just edge that out through here. And then maybe I'll just kind of find a little line I can put through. So, and then set this up, and then maybe a shape through here. I don't know how that's going to work. And I'm totally... there we go. Suddenly things have gotten awful snappy. What did I just do? I'm going to hit save on that. Because apparently I'm breaking something. My system's running a little weird. Let me see if what we got running in the background. Control-Alt-Delete. And let me see if I can identify something that's janking stuff up. You know what? Nothing's really eating my memory up. Maybe it's just Blender. I'm going to restart Blender and see if that is my issue. I did just save you, so we'll do that. Let's put you to the side. Are you still good? Can you look at how smooth that is? I don't even really need this, though, do I? I think I saved that, so I'm going to close that down. All right, let's relaunch Blender. My graphics memory is pegged up at almost 10, though. 10 gigabytes of usage. I'm not sure what is eating that up. You know what? I don't need PowerPoint on in the background. So turn you off. All right, Blender's back. Well, whatever was eating up those 9 gigabytes, I'm back to 2.7, which sounds more reasonable for usage while streaming. All right, let's try this. Let's reopen. Open recent, aerobic shoes, don't save. Let's just switch you back to that. All right, I'm back. I think I'm going to pull out this edge here. So we'll do that. So let's make a copy of shoe right now. Because this is a nice shape, and in case I screw something up. Although I seldom end up going back to these things. But it's nice to know that it's there. All right, tab U. Switch over to face mode. I'm going to select those, and we're going to select these toe pieces here. And then I'm going to do Control F and extrude along normals. And we're just going to pull all of that out just a little bit. Should be good. We're going to put some creasing on those to make them a little sharper. So let's do that. Did that go all the way around? It did. Nice. And are you all... and are you too thick now? It's probably a little too thick. I'm going to soften that up just a little bit, I think. So I'm going to put a bevel on there, and then we're going to take out one of the lines. because I don't think I can easily slide all of this back the way I wanted to. Did I select everything I wanted? Yep. So Control B, I'm going to do that. Then I'm just going to dissolve that out. And that, I think I just extruded it a little too much. Let's back this up a couple. All right, now we'll do this again. Before I do that, though, I think I'm going to tweak this shape right in here. Okay, now we'll do it. And I'm going to try to extrude that ever a little more, not as harsh as I did last time. And now we'll crease. Why don't we just crease the inside? What if we do that? It'll probably be fine. I'm getting a little bit of weird gooberness in here. It's probably okay. I've got an extra row in here. We'll just delete that out, dissolve that out. It's probably fine. Now I'm going to think I'm going to put maybe a little bit of a pull out on this. Actually, I think I'm going to go through here. Maybe I'm going to stop here and I'm going to do the other details with Substance Painter. This is what I'm leaning towards. Although that could stand a little bit extra. So this needs some extra thickness in here. And that can use a little bit of extra thickness. And you are off a little bit there. So maybe I will just put a little bit of a band of padding around right in here. And we'll just kind of do the same thing we did. Just a little bit like that. Okay, I'm going to redo that. I'm going to reposition. I'm going to pay attention to these. So here, let's back this up just a little bit. Right there. So there's a point right here. I think I want that to be a little thinner, kind of like what that is. I'm just going to slide. There's a point in there somewhere, I hope. Maybe like that. And I think I'm probably just going to add a loop cut in here at some point just to smooth that out a little bit. All right, now let's try this. That's a little bit better, but it's still a little... Still want to take that out a little more. I can't see. There we go. So, bring you over here. Bring you over there. Bring you up a little bit. All right, let's try that. That looks a little rough in there. Are you creased out? Is that part of my problem? Yeah, you guys are creased, aren't you? I mean, that helps a little bit. Where are we at? Oh, we're past 4. So I think I'm going to call it right about here for the day. Slowly making progress on these shoes. Oh, and I got to get the socks in here too at some point. And then I think I'm going to start adding the lacing and the eyelets. And then I'm going to try to do stitching details and height details in Substance, I think. So I'll take a little bit of that extra detail weight off of the OBJ and just fake it out with the texture a bit. So anyhow, making progress. Hit save. I'm going to call it a day. Let's find somebody to raid. I appreciate everybody being here. Let's see who's on and go raid out. Hey, if there's anybody over on the YouTube, thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Remember, like and subscribe. Check out CS Bond 2 if he ever streams again. It would be super cool to see you there. It's always a pleasure to catch Art here. I saw Leo was in the house. Thank you, Leo. And I think I'm and Plobby, and we had Plobby in here. And Plobby for the resub. So thank you, Plobby, for that resub. Super appreciate it. Let's take a look who's on and go raid out. And yes, we will be back tonight, 8 p.m. for the Saturday Night Social. It's an art share. It's a Discord chat. It's an old Betty Boop cartoon. There we go. Come over here. Who is on? It says I got 4 viewers, so we're going to take 4 viewers to go hang out with somebody cool. I hope. Sally Quinn is on. Meeksy is on. There's an option. Lady Atria is on, but she's gaming. Tatty Bidet is on, just chatting. Bluxfy is on. Oh my gosh, all the art friends are on today. Some days, none of them are on. Other days, let's see what Blux is doing. If Blux is doing art, Blux is doing art. Let's go over and say hi to our good friend Blux. He is doing a 2D practice. So he is painting today. And I'm not entirely sure what he's using here. So anyhow, let's go say hi to our good friend Bluxfy. Super cool guy, a good friend of ours, and I hope to catch you all tonight. Let's do this. Feel free to join the Discord. If you put stuff in the galleries, we do share it on the Saturday Night Social tonight. Also, feel free to go shop at my store at Daz. Buy my stuff. Buy my stuff. The Rockabilly Swing outfit just was released today, so feel free to check that out. And here's the raid calls. If you can join the raid over on, if you're on Twitch and you can join the raid, that would be super cool. Copy that. If you're not a subscriber, copy this one. if you are a subscriber, and let's go over and say hi to our good friend Bluxfi /raid Bluxfi. Did that work? I think that worked. Let's see. It looks like it worked. All right. I'm going to copy my raid message. Hey, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. And hasta la vista, baby.